All right, so today we're at one of my swimming pools. We're in the pump room. We got, you can see there's water all over the ground. We got a Hayward pump here. There's a slow drip coming from the back of the pump. So that means it's time for a new pump seal. It's a saline pool, so you can see all this buildup of salt and whatnot. Probably got to the gaskets. So I picked up the new gaskets. You know, everything I need. It was only 30 bucks. Gonna probably be a couple hours worth of work. Maybe I could do it in an hour if I'm quick and I don't run into any issues. So it's just a slow drip coming from the back here. Got the seal kit, every gasket I need. Turned off all the valves, switched the valves off. You hit this one too. And yeah, so I'm just gonna get this pump opened up. All right, so I vacuumed up as much of the water as I can. So I'm not working in a puddle here. I got the new gaskets there. Closed off all the valves, sucked out all the water. So I'm ready to start taking this pump apart. Look at all this salt buildup right here. It's crazy. So I'm gonna take off these 4 bolts and then see what we got into. I got the seal kit right here and then the main gasket. And this is, I think, what's it called? Diffuser gasket right here. So we'll get all of those in. Okay, so we have the pump out. And we have the diffuser right here, and you can see how crusty and rusty this fucking gasket is. That thing is toast. So we have the new diffuser gasket there. That's the first one I've spotted. And it looks like we have the main gasket right here. Now that I'm looking, it actually looks okay, but I'm just gonna replace it anyways. You know, there's salt everywhere, so I'm gonna clean this up. A little bit of hair inside of here too, but yeah, you can see how crusty this diffuser gasket is. I'll replace the main one as well, but then the most important one right here is the actual pump seal, which is gonna hold water back from going into there. So we'll have to get further into that. So these screws came off surprisingly easily. I've had other pumps where I've done the pump seals and daddling these screws fucking cemented in there, but no, these ones came out really easily and it helps. I actually really like this wrench. It's fucking amazing. What is it, a Husky? It just feels amazing when I'm cranking away on this thing. So, I don't know. All right, so let me clean this up and get further into this thing. So I'm taking off the impeller, but I had to take out the capacitor and the this little relay thing, a couple other parts here. So I can put my wrench on this right here. And then once my wrench is on that, I can twist this off and this part comes off. And I can take the rest off of the gasket. Okay, so we got it. So I had the wrench back there holding this, and I was able to twist off the impeller. I had to use a screwdriver for some leverage. I twisted it off, and then I was able to take this off as well after the impeller came off. And now, so I have the diffuser gasket right here. I have the main seal gasket in there, and I have the actual seal gasket, the seal kit, boom, right here. And then the other part of that is right here. So I'm going to clean up all the salt off all of this and clean up all the salt. I'll take the old gaskets off carefully, clean it all up, and then we'll put the new ones on and we'll come and we'll button it all back up. So I'm gonna take these to the shop and clean them up. Okay, so all the parts are cleaned up and it took a while. So we took, here's the old seal spring. And this took a while to take off. It was all rusted on there, so I had to take this off of the shaft here and then sand this down. I have the new one here. Oop, have the new one right here. Slides on perfectly good. And we put the new gasket in here as well. There's the old one, it's all crusty. The new diffuser gasket is on there, looking good. And I cleaned off the housing on the actual pump in there. So this is the last gasket I have to put on. And then everything should be good to put back together. So I'll take a video once I'm in there and put it back together. Okay, so we got most of this pump patched back up. So I had to put you know, this big plate back on, and I had to twist the impeller back on with the wrench. Pretty much in reverse order of what I just did. I put on the capacitor and this little relay back on. Seems to be in place and working good. So the last step is to just put this diffuser back in there and then put this pump, hoist the pump back in there. We also put the new main seal in. So this main seal right here is brand new. Gasket as well. Everything's cleaned up, you know, for the most part. You know, I want to clean this up maybe a little bit more. I just don't want another leak to spring if I start scrubbing that, but you know, I'll clean it up the best I can. But so we will patch this pump up and then we'll give it a good test. Hopefully it works. All right, so this whole pump is patched back up pretty much. I just have to put those 2 screws in, but I want to test it first. So I'll put the basket back in, close that up. I'll open up all the valves I shut off, and I'm praying, let's keep our fingers crossed here, that this is going to work good and not leak. I'm pretty confident. I think we'll be okay. I've done these before, so we'll give it a test. All right, so everything's back together. So we're gonna test this out. We're gonna flip it on. It might take a minute to prime, and then we'll see if it leaks. A little nervous, but I think we'll be good. Oh, hold on. Take a minute to prime. Okay, so everything is all set. So we had to fill up the chamber with water, and once we turned on the pump, it had to prime up. It took about a minute to prime up, and now it's running. Everything's good. The filter's filled up. Filter's up to pressure, and everything's running, and I don't see any drips or any leaks at all, so this is great. I might clean it up a little bit more. There's a little salt on the filter right there, but everything looks pretty good. So I'm gonna keep an eye on this and make sure there's no drips, but I think we solved our problem here, so good to go.